And so I'm going to go through this process and use a sample product. And the product is that I'm going to use that you're a salesperson trying to sell a gym membership. Okay, and so the features of this product are, weight room, exercise equipment, classes, yoga classes, training classes, spin classes, all these different exercise classes, lap pool, leisure pool, sauna, dry sauna, steam sauna, and so on. So that's, if we were going to be the product selling sales pitch, we would kind of talk about all that stuff when we were trying to sell our gym membership. So what you want to do in this process is do an extension of the product and try to think about, okay, if I'm trying to sell that product to a particular type of buyer, what are the benefits that those features will help my buyer to realize? And so, if I stop to think about, okay, let me think about someone trying to get into better physical shape, maybe someone trying to lose a little weight. And so if they use these different features here that I'm talking to you about, then we can think about the benefits they'll realize is that they might lose some weight. They might get healthier. They might become more attractive if they, lose a little weight, get more in shape. They might decrease the level of stress that they're experiencing in their life. They might have more energy. Actually working out might give them more energy instead of feeling fatigued. Because they're getting healthier and they're realizing all these other benefits, they might decrease the frequency that they get sick or the frequency that they have to go to the doctor. So they might decrease their medical expenses. That's step one, was, okay, let's identify the product we offer. Step two was, let's take a derivative of that and think about what are the benefits that those features offer. And now what we're going to do is get to what we want to identify, which is a list of pain points that you help to fix. Now, I will say that you could probably skip those first two steps, and I might say, what pain do you fix? And you might be able to throw a couple things out at me. But this is one way to either think of new stuff that you might not have thought of, because let's look at that list of benefits, and for each benefit there typically is a corresponding pain point that might be fixed, and it's usually kind of like the yin and the yang. Think of it as the opposite. So if I improve this, then I help to make this thing on the other side go down, right? So if we help someone to lose weight, we might help to decrease the challenge that it can be difficult to get healthier and to lose weight. If you help someone to get healthier, they might have the challenge that they're not healthy as they should be. If you help someone to become more attractive, they might be living every day of their life with not a high level of self-confidence. If you help them to decrease stress, maybe they have just a very stressful life with their kids and their work and their spouse and finances, and they can't sleep at night. Well, so if you help them to get healthier and decrease stress, and then maybe it solves the problem that they experience a high level of anxiety in their daily life. If you help someone to increase their energy, that helps to fix a problem of that maybe someone lives every day with feeling tired and fatigued. And if you help them to decrease their medical expenses, maybe they have more expenses on a monthly, yearly basis for medical bills than they would like, or maybe they're concerned about their insurance costs or the future, maybe changes in the medical insurance in recent or upcoming years. So there's a list of pain points. I'm not going to say that that's a perfect list of pain points for selling a gym membership. What I want to show you here is a structured process that we went through to organize some really good points, and this is what we can, if we say, okay, I'm going to stop selling for an hour or two and organize my thoughts, this is one of the processes that you can go through to organize the thoughts that will help you to be more of a consultative selling salesperson. We went through that process, and you could go through that for your product. I do want to just sort of show you sort of an advanced level of ways to look at that, is that you could actually organize those pain points into 3 different levels. So at the lowest level, you have technical pain, which is improving some sort of process. Going back to the gym membership, this is helping someone to get into a daily workout routine, or helping someone to get to work out on a regular basis, or helping someone have access to personal trainers or classes or whatnot. So you're helping them to become to get to become healthier. And so when you help someone to realize to resolve technical pain, then that can lead to decreasing business pain. And so you heard me talk about helping someone to become healthier. You might help them to decrease their medical expenses. Well, that is an example of decreasing medical pain, which is spending too much on going to the doctor and getting sick too often. So that's a financial or business pain or financial or business benefit that's realized. And then when you deliver those types of business and technical benefits and resolve those types of pains, it might resolve personal pain in the area of, and so if you apply all this to the B2B world, a personal pain might be not a good work-life balance, not getting recognition, not advancing in one's career, not making enough money. And so those are things that a manager that you might be able to help might be experiencing. So just something for you to think about. That's sort of like the bonus, ways to break down the different pain that you offer, but you don't have to do that right out of the gate. It's just something to think about when you when you start to organize and think about the pain that you resolve and whatnot. And so those different points and examples, like I said, could be different for the different people you sell to. And just to come back to this, I want to point out, we use that example of a gym membership, right? We were talking about people losing weight. But if you think about it, we could sell a gym membership to people that are different than that. I mean, we don't just sell gym memberships to people looking to lose weight. There could be people that are looking to do some sort of athletic training. Well, those benefits and those pain points are totally different for someone who's looking to become to go to the next level in terms of athleticism, right? They're not the hot buttons of improving self-confidence or decreasing stress or medical bills. They don't really hit with that different audience. So that's where you can develop a different list of pain points. Even looking at you in your business, you might also be able to sell to customers that have purchased from you in the past, or to cross-sell to existing customers, or to sell to customers that are using your competitor. So those could all be different pain points, but that's what you get here in this different sort of matrix. Now, like I said, I don't want that to be overwhelming for you to think about, okay, I'm just trying to start to talk about pain, and I'm not talking about it at all right now. So this is a little overwhelming. So I just want you to kind of get your hands around that. You might say different stuff to different people, but definitely, and this is what we kind of teach our clients that use our methodology and our tool set, is we want you to go through a crawl, walk, run process. So the crawl stage would be, okay, let me just figure out some pain points that I fix. And think of a list of like 3 to 5 pain points that kind of apply to everybody. Maybe like a general list of pain points that, it might not be, they just kind of fit with everybody. They might not be honed in one particular area. And so that would be the crawl stages. Let me just sort of organize my thoughts. We would call that developing a sales pitch campaign in our world, in our tool set. So the walk stage would be, okay, let me start talking about those. Let me get those points into my communication and start using, here it says using the different sales tools. See, we're going to give you sales tools, but if you don't use our tools, you might think of those as creating notes of pain points or creating new scripts and templates for you to remember the pain points, but start using those. And once you get comfortable with that and adopt more of a consultative approach, then you can come back and develop those laser-focused sales pitch campaigns that target really defined sets of buyers that you're going after.